this series, but in the process, they can take the series match as well. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Last night, the Angels evened up the series with a dominant pitching performance by Jared Weaver. But as good as he was last night, he was still not as good as Fausto Carmona was in his last start.
That may be the best start Fausto had in his career. He went out there from the very first pitch of the ball game against the Twins and just dominated. He was pounding that strike zone with all the pitches. His sinker was moving so much. He had a variance off that changeup that was about 83 miles per hour. And you can see he won his 12th game. He ended that 6-game losing streak, but a complete game, 3-hit shutout. He had a couple double play balls mixed in there with 7 strikeouts. And against the Angels, he's looking for a win, but he's got a very good ERA against the Angels in his career.
Well, from what we saw last night, he'll have to be on his A game because the Angels are throwing another good starter, Irvin Santana. He's had a very good under-the-radar type season.
Well, he has. He's got 16 wins. He's trying to go for a career-high 17 wins, but 0-6 against the Indians in his career. I think he made his first Major League start against the Tribe, and they roughed him up, and he had no decision in his first outing back in April. 6 2/3, gave up 3 earned runs with 8 strikeouts. So the Indians, they need some offense. They were shut out for the 15th time last night. They got to get out early and try and get the lead for Fausto.
The Angels have had the early lead in both of the games so far in this series. We'll see if the Tribe can turn the tables on them here tonight. We'll be back with all the play-by-play action coming up next. We'll wrap up their 3-game series. 2 hours ago, it didn't look real promising. We had some torrential rains here at Progressive Field, accompanied by all the thunder and lightning you can imagine. But it's moved through the area, and we're just about ready to get underway once Fausto Carmona has completed his warm-up tosses. He'll make his way to the dugout, and then eventually we will be underway. We're hoping for about a 7:15 p.m. first pitch tonight here between the Indians and the Angels. Tribe simply dominated last night by a very good pitcher who was on his A game. Jared Weaver had everything going for him last night. Control of his fastball, his breaking ball. And it looked like, Rick, even though his fastball maybe only was registering 90 to 92, it had some extra jump to it.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was explosive. He stayed out of the middle of the plate, and when you were riding it upstairs, you couldn't hit it. He was cutting a few of them. I mean, there's the four-seamer up top. This guy's leading the league in strikeouts, and it's no wonder. He pitched a gem last night, gave up one hit in his 7 innings. Could have went back out there, but in a 7-0 ball game, they shut him down, and that was only his 12th win. He's 12-11 this year, just a game over. They weren't scoring any runs for him. They got him 7 early, and he showed you what he can do when he gets some support.
Fausto Carmona has suffered a similar fate many times this year. He has 12 wins, 14 losses, but a very good ERA of 3.86. And sometimes, when you play on a team that doesn't score a lot of runs, as the old saying goes, sometimes you have to go out and win a 2-1 game, a 3-2 game. That's exactly what he did his last time out.
You know what? And he showed it right from the outset. From the very first pitch of that game against the Twins, he was locked in. I mean, his ball was sinking. He was changing speeds. And normally his changeup is at 86, 87. That game, it was about 82, 83. He had a good slider. Everything was working for him, and boy, it was fun to watch because I'll tell you what, he had the Twins hitters baffled. I saw left-handers taking swings against him that you normally don't see. Usually left-handers like it, but not last game. He matched up against Carl Pavano, and he outpitched him, and it was really fun to watch. 7 strikeouts. He had 2 double plays, faced 1 over the minimum. Fausto Carmona was great. And he's had games this year where, less than 2 hours. That was 157. Yeah. He had the game against Galarraga in Detroit. That was 141. Mm-hmm. He had another game that was under 3 hours this year as well.
Speaking of the Minnesota Twins, who Carmona dueled his last time out, they are on the verge of all but nailing down the American League Central Division. They've won the first 2 in their series against the White Sox. Go for a sweep tonight, looking for their 88th win of the year. If they secure that 88th win, they will tie both Tampa and New York for the most wins in baseball, going for their 5th straight win.
That is amazing, isn't it?
And I was listening to Ron Gardenhire earlier today on a radio show who was saying that, Justin Morneau, he's been out almost 2 months now, ever since he got kneed in the head with the concussion. Hard to believe. They're on the verge of their 88th win of the year, and he has not played a role really since the All-Star break. And Ron Gardenhire was saying, even if he were to walk into my office tomorrow and say I'm fine and the doctors have cleared me, et cetera, because I don't know that he could get enough at-bats and get himself ready to really, play in the postseason. So it sounds like, he didn't come out and say it, but it sounds like the Twins will be without Justin Morneau. But they've done just fine without him, as crazy as that sounds.
They are that good. I mean, the Twins are that good. The guy that's having an MVP year that people don't even talk about is Delvin Young. Delvin has really gone out and had a great year, 100 RBIs. Their concern is going to be their starting pitching and who they match up against in the playoffs. They can't beat the Yankees. They've had a tough time with New York. They'd probably match up better with Tampa, in that situation. But, they could go out and they could have the best record because this is the last time that the White Sox, the Twins play. And I think their magic number's 11 right now. And, there's no way they're going to catch them.
No, I would say you're exactly right there. And even though Ron Gardenhire, like every manager,
right,
he's not ready to talk about the playoffs or who's the number 1 starter in the postseason until they clinch it. He's not going to entertain any of that.
And rightfully so. We can talk about him for him.
Yeah, you never put the cart before the horse when you're the manager.
That's exactly right.
Mike Hargrove never did it all those years.
No manager
when it was
does.
A foregone conclusion that the Indians were going to win the division.
Yeah, you could be 20 up with 21 to play, but until they say you're in the playoffs, you're not going to talk about it.
That's exactly right. Well, Carmona has finished his warm-up tosses, and he's headed to the Indians' dugout where he'll catch a breather, and then we'll be underway shortly here. Speaking also, you mentioned the New York Yankees. Their game last night against Tampa. Now, the Rays eventually won the game, but there was a point in that ball game where New York was ahead 3-2. Derek Jeter was at the plate. Pitch came in. It hit the knob of his bat. We had a play here similar where it hit the knob of the bat, and the umpire said it hit the guy's hand, and he got first base. I don't recall who the hitter was. Manny Acton came out and argued it. Well, last night, same situation, except Derek Jeter played a great role. I mean, he acted it out like the ball hit his hand. It clearly did not. Umpires didn't see it. He was awarded first base. As I said, Tampa eventually came back, won the game, so it didn't factor in the game. But today, that was all the talk around baseball and the talk shows, and it's on the web and in the papers. The cry for more use of instant replay, expanded instant replay. And it was interesting. Jason Stark from ESPN polled a number of managers, and it seems like the majority of managers now in baseball are in favor of more instant replay, using
expanded version,
using it for fair and foul calls, maybe plays at the plate, close plays at first base. Where do you think we're headed with instant replay?
Well, I certainly hope it's going to be expanded. I want them to get the play right. I want them to get the game right. Just the fair foul home run call, no. The technology is out there. I think it can be done correctly. You put it and you take away a lot of the pressure from the umpires. You add another umpire to the crew. You put them up top. Let the umpire be look at instant replay, also be the official scorer and be part of the crew. And then the next day he goes down and another guy will come up. There's a way to do that, and I would like to see more of it in baseball. I really would.
Hey, let's face it. The umpires do a heck of a job. They I think for the most part, 90%, 99%, whatever you want to say, they do the best job they can. They want to get the calls right. And I don't think by instituting more use of instant replay that you would undermine them in any way, shape, or
take
form.
More pressure away from them, actually, is what you would do. You're not going to mess with balls and strikes with replay. I'm totally against that. But I'm talking about getting the calls right out on the field.
Does anybody in their right mind think that Jim Joyce wouldn't have loved to have been able to say, all right, let's go look at it on replay, and then Armando Galarraga has a perfect game if we have instant replay? Then there's no doubt about it.
Well, I don't know the issues of Major League Baseball and what it's going to do with the umpires union or what. There's a lot of talk to be said, but I think you're going to see more and more people, and you said more managers are for it.
Yeah. Something to watch, folks, in the off-season, definitely as baseball moves forward. And there are a lot of people who think, don't mess with baseball. Maniac is one of them. Tribe manager Maniac said, hey, we've been playing baseball for over 130 years. We don't need more instant replay. But he is obviously in the minority among Major League managers as far as that goes. Let's take a look right now at Mike Scioscia's starting lineup. Fausto Carmona will face Reggie Willits, Bobby Abreu, Torrey Hunter at the top, Hideki Matsui, Alberto Cayespo, Mike Napoli in the middle, Eric Ibar, Kevin Franzen, and Jeff Mathis round it out.
Fausto Carmona brought to you by the Indians Team Shops. You'll get 2 free tickets when you spend $50, making his 30th start, coming off the best start of the year by far. It was a 2-0 win over the Twins and Carl Pavano, his 4th complete game of the year. And he was absolutely brilliant with everything he did. Let's see if he can follow that start up that he did against the Twins. He's looking for his first win against the Angels. His last start came August 18th of last year against them, and he lost to them. He is 0-2 in his career. Let's look at the defense behind Carmona tonight. It looks like this. In the outfield, Trevor Crowe gets the start left tonight. Michael Brantley in center. Chu is in right. Nix at third. Cabrera at short. Sutton is at second. Brown is at first with Marson back behind the plate.
And the men making all the calls tonight, Bob Davidson will be behind the plate. Alfonso Marquez is at first. Scott Berry at second. Crew chief Tim Cheetah down at third. All ready to go. A light gathering here tonight, but that's understandable after the storms we had pass through here.
They
just
came
about
down
2 hours ago.
Right around when we were arriving at the ballpark. I mean, this field, a lot of it was underwater.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that. I was just thinking, back in your day at Old Cleveland Stadium, you wouldn't have been able to play just because where would the water have gone?
You would have played if the infield was dry, but the outfield would have had puddles. The drainage in these new ballparks it's just spectacular.
You'd have been standing out there ankle deep in mud.
No question about it. We would have went through 2 or 3 pairs of shoes.
Still some residual puddles out on the warning track, but other than that, you look out there on the field, you never know a rain to drop. Here's the 0-2. Willits shoots it back out of play.
Fausto in his last start seemed much more under control. It seemed like everything slowed down for him like he was in slow motion.
There's a ground ball foul off the third base side.
He's
that a lock combination or or a 9-minute delay?
What's the 650? Is that the
65
daily number?
Yeah, that's pick 3.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Foul back.
Oh, don't make me laugh. I guess it was a 9-minute delay tonight.
Okay. Officially a 9-minute delay. Bobby Abreu waits on deck. Then Torrey Hunter here in the first. Already a 6-pitch at bat for Reggie Willits. This will be the 6th toss from Carmona. Took something off, blooped in the air. Foul. Nix almost went diving, and it's a good thing he didn't.
That's right. That field slants that way, and once you get going and you get that head leading, it's a good thing he didn't dive.
Yeah,
because with this swing here, he hits it off the end of the bat. That's one that'll get you in trouble. There are no room, and you see that track right there.
And that pole was waiting for him.
He made one of those catches in Detroit this year. Oh, where was that?
1 ball and 2 strikes.
I mean, if you make a pitch, I want to see.
Oh, my. Come on,
telling
Bob.
you. That's the one pitch, it seems like that's tough to get called, that inside corner. That's a strike.
Got him that time. Willits is out number 1. Bobby Abreu stepping to the plate. He's our achievement of the game, brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in us all. Most consecutive seasons with at least 20 stolen bases. Abreu has done it 12 straight times. How about Ricky Henderson?
I know.
Are you kidding me?
It's scary, isn't it?
Who plays 23 seasons, let alone steal 20 bases 23 consecutive seasons? Bobby Abreu looks at a ball down low. Abreu early in his career was the man in Philadelphia. And moved on to the Yankees. Down low. 2 balls, no strikes. Two for 8 in the series for Bobby Abreu. A hit in each game.
You know, here's a guy after the Angels acquired it from the Yankees. Brought a lot of patience to that lineup. Remember how aggressive the Angels used to be when they had Vladimir Guerrero and, a lot of the guys that were, they'd get after that first pitch. He's one of the few guys that came over and was patient and would work walks, and I think it rubbed off on some of the young hitters. Couldn't hold it up right there. And, it sort of rubbed off.
Now the 2-1 pitch. I still remember that game you and I did in 07 in New York.
Yankee Stadium.
Where he took that pitch. It wasn't 2 inches off the outside corner.
There's no
with 2 strikes.
I know.
And just spit on it. I'm like, man, this guy has an unbelievable eye at the plate.
Ended up walking. They took 2 or 3 of them out there. Never even
changed the course of that game.
Yeah.
Now the 3-1. And Fausto walks him. Abreu goes down to first with 1 out for Torrey Hunter.
Well, that's the one thing he did not do. Yeah, he had 1 walk in his last start. 1 walk, 7 punch-outs.
Hunter 3 for 8 in the series. Torrey Hunter had the famous line back in 07 when Carmona had that tremendous year. And he was dominant against the Minnesota Twins. And Torrey Hunter said after one particular game, he said, I feel like I'm drunk when I'm swinging against this guy.
That's because of the movement on his pitches. Carmona leads the league in ground ball double plays, 29. Good candidate here. Hunter has grounded into 19 of them. And you can see career numbers against Fausto. He's not a comfortable guy to face, period. Right-handed, left-handed. The big body, his arms and legs are flying at you. Balls are going everywhere.
So close play over at first. Abreu able to get back with a dive. See Jordan Brown playing at first base tonight. The 1-1 fouled back out of play. A ball and 2 strikes for Torrey Hunter.
See, those are the pitches when you don't have good numbers against a pitcher. It looked like he got a breaking ball up a little bit, and you foul it off. You don't put it in play or hit it hard. That's when he wanted to put in play.
Runner goes on the 1-2 pitch. It's down low. Throw to second, not in time. And Abreu with his 21st stolen base of the year.
Well, Fausto, a guy that you can run on. And he gets a pretty good jump, and you're going to see by the time Marson can get it down there, he'll get in with his 21st stolen base.
The 2-2 to Hunter. All over the top of the Indians' dugout.
That's 32 for 38 now. Stolen bases against Fausto.
Matsui waits on deck. Hunter with a 2-2 count. And he struck him out. Second K in the inning for Carmona. Hunter checks back to see if he swung on a strike. It didn't appear that way initially. Here's another look.
It looked like Fausto comes back with that changeup.
I think it would have been a strike, actually.
Yeah, it would have been. That was a good pitch. That changeup, he's getting a feel for it. Look at 83. Right there, outside edge. Very good pitch.
The way he swung at it, though, you could tell he had him fooled. And Hideki Matsui will have a chance with 2 down to drive in a run with Abreu still in scoring position. Down low, ball 1. Good pitch that time. Evens the count of 1-1. Matsui has been one of the hottest hitters in baseball over the last month. Batting .403 since August 14th. Matsui currently with an 8-game hitting streak. He's gone 12 for 27 during his tear. He's sitting on 19 home runs. And the 2-1 pitch is grounded foul.
Well, the Angels have scored a run in at least one in the first inning of the first 2 games. They got 4 last night, 1 the first night. They have outscored their opposition by 20 in the first inning, 77-57 this year. I'm going to say, when you get Fausto, hopefully you can go 1, 2, 3 and see if you can get him a lead.
There's the set by Carmona and the 2-2. Struck him out looking. So Carmona strikes out 3, and the Angels strand a runner in scoring position. Tribe coming to bat. coming to bat here in the bottom of the first inning against Irvin Santana. And the Tribe starting lineup presented by Progressive Insurance, proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. It'll be Michael Brantley as Drupal Cabrera and Shin Soo Choo at the top. Travis Hafner, Jordan Brown, Jason Nix in the middle. Then Trevor Crowe, Drew Sutton, and Lou Marson round it out.
Irvin Santana making the start, 16-9. He's one win away of setting a new career high. 17 would be a career high. He also won 16 games in 2006, 2008, but he is 0-6 in his career against the Tribe. Coming off a win, as a matter of fact, a 3-game winning streak, beat Seattle.
Santana starts the game off with a strike to Michael Brantley, who is riding a 15-game hitting streak. And a ground ball up the middle this time. Franson fields it, throws him out, one away.
Let's look at that Angels defense brought to you by Huntington Bank. In the outfield, Abreu, Willits, and Hunter. On the infield, it's going to be Callaspo, Ibar, Franson, and Napoli. Behind the plate will be Mathis. And Irvin Santana in his last start beat Felix Hernandez and the Seattle Mariners.
Santana with the first pitch strike to his Drupal Cabrera, who has really hit the skids of late. 3 hits in his last 25 at-bats covering his last 6 games. And he drives this one to right field. Hunter is there to make the catch, and that's out number 2. Yeah, we've got a defensive change. Brennan Wood is in at shortstop. I'm not sure if they had changed the lineup before we got underway here.
Well, who's at all right, Callaspo's at third and Wood at short, huh?
Well, Ibar was originally scheduled to play shortstop in the lineup, but I don't know if when Mike Scioscia went out to do the lineups, if he already had Wood in there. I would assume, right?
I have no idea.
Unless Ibar tripped when he walked onto the bench. Well, he's not scheduled to hit till 7th in the lineup.
Well, maybe something happened right before a game and it wasn't mentioned. But the lineup cards I'm sure they handed the umpires has Wood at short.
Yeah, I would think so. The 0-1 pitch to Chu. Missed up high. The 1-1 delivery. High again. 2 balls and a strike. Chu had the first hit of the game for the Indians last night. And it was the only hit Jared Weaver allowed in his 7 innings of work. Did not walk a batter, and he struck out 7. The only other hit for the Indians last night came off the bat of Michael Brantley in the 9th. Strike called, full count.
Well, I'll tell you, if you're a hitter up there, you better not step out of the box too quickly because I don't know where the strike zone's at tonight.
Payoff pitch. Whew. Ball 4. It was close. 2-out base runner now for Travis Hafner. A perplexed Mike Scioscia looking on. All month long, when Cleveland hits a home run, STO and Coca-Cola are giving away free Coke for a year. Our first contestant tonight is George Wilson from Leavittsburg, Ohio. Log on to STOHD.com now, and you can register. Travis Hafner with a runner at first and 2 down, drives the ball towards center field, but right in the tracks of Reggie Willits, and the inning is over. 1 inning in the books, no score in Cleveland. Brought to you by Subway. Play hard, eat fresh. By Continental Airlines. Work hard, fly right. And by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers.
Look at that Newport. He's having a good time. He's got his outfit on. I'll bet that's his first ball game.
Alberto Callaspo. A line shot to first, snared by Jordan Brown for out number one. One quick out here in the second inning for Mike Napoli.
Well, the first ball put in play by the Angels today. A line drive right into the tracks. Jordan Brown just picks it before it hits the dirt.
Mike Napoli 0 for 4 in the series. 24 home runs, 65 runs batted in.
Career high with that 24 home runs for Napoli.
Some talk that Mike Napoli might be dangled out there in the offseason as potential trade bait. And I would think there'd be some takers. If I was a team and I didn't have a legitimate frontline guy, I'd be stepping up to.
Well, a catcher by trade. He has stepped in and played some first base for him this year. And he swings hard. He's got that one swing, man. You find his zone, he can hit a long way, but he has holes.
He can do that too.
Yeah, he has holes.
4 strikeouts for Carmona, 2 down here in the second.
This had good sink to it. As the right-handed hitter, see that ball coming in, you end up swinging over the top of it. Boy, when he stays on top of the baseball, he gets such great movement.
Well, they definitely changed their lineup before they went to home plate. Because here's Kevin Franzen, who was originally batting 8th in the lineup that we were handed. So Franzen is hitting 7th, and Brandon Wood is batting 8th. So there were definitely some changes that we were not alerted to. And no one else was either, because they're making the announcements now in the press box. That ball is bunted foul. Pitch to Franzen. He just spoiled it over the top of the seats. Or over the top of the dugout, excuse me. Swung on and missed. Carmona strikes him out. He's punched out 5 Angels already. We're through 2. We're going to the bottom of the second. No score. Bottom of the second inning here at Progressive Field. Jordan Brown, Jason Nix, Trevor Crow do up for the Tribe as the rain once again falling here at the ballpark. But that was part of the forecast, is that chance for some scattered rain throughout the rest of the evening. Jordan Brown looks at the ball inside. Mathis got a piece of it, but Bob Davidson took the brunt of it.
Yeah, he's trying to walk it off, and he's going to get it straight in the knee.
Oh, he didn't get a piece
No, he went inside, and that direct hit to Davidson right on his knee.
I thought Mathis got some of it.
He's trying to walk it off. He's going to be upset when you come back. I bet he apologizes. Say, I'm sorry, man. That pitch got away. Look at him. Sorry, I won't let that happen again.
And the bad thing for Mathis, he hasn't even batted yet.
I know. Well, that's why he had to apologize there.
Over the outside corner for a strike to even the count on Jordan Brown at 1-1. One and two the count. Santana, 149 strikeouts in 194 innings of work against 64 walks. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
He's not afraid to go in there, is he? That fastball.
It's got a little mustard on it,
yes,
too.
Yes, it does. He's throwing it to 93, 94.
Down low, and the count goes to full. Broken bat, fly ball to right. Torrey Hunter backpedaling, one away. Tonight at 11 o'clock, join Jim Donovan, Doug Deacon, Tony Grossi, and Coach Sam for Chevy Sunday Strategy. They'll preview the Browns' home opener against the Kansas City Chiefs, and they've got all the insight that you won't find anywhere else. Chevy Sunday Strategy tonight at 11 right here on STO. Sounds like Seneca Wallace will be the Browns quarterback Sunday. Unless Jake Delhomme wakes up and feels a whole lot better tomorrow. The 1-0 pitch. Strike to the outside corner, evens the count. Up and in, got him. So Santana has walked one, hit one in the first 2 frames, and the Tribe has a base runner with 1 out for Trevor Crow.
Well, this one, he went inside a couple times to Brown with the fastball. This one, he's trying to go inside, gets Nix on the back of the arm. He will jog down to first base. That's the 11th guy that Santana has hit this year. He's hit more than Justin Masterson. They were tied at 10. That's a lot of guys.
Breaking ball down at the feet. Trevor Crow. Crow has put together a 4-game hitting streak with a knock in 6 of his last 15 at-bats. Covers 5 games. I beg your pardon. That doesn't sound right. He has an RBI in 5 games. Now the 1-0 pitch. 1 on, 1 out, 1-1 pitch to Crow. Up and in, snap throw down to first, but Nix was able to get back with a dive. Mathis is more the pure catcher compared to Napoli, who's more of the offense, who just tries to hold his own behind the plate. Runner goes, swing and a miss, throw down, and that's why Mathis is behind the plate.
That was a perfect throw, right on the bag. You know, and the hit and run was on. You're trying to start the runner. Nick's not a base stealer. Crow, these guys, it's amazing. You put a hit and run on and guys swing through fastballs. The job is just get the ball on the ground, but he will be thrown out.
Now the 2-2, and Crow hits a line drive to first. It's caught by Napoli, and the inning is over. Through 2, no score. Straight in this moment. Brandon Wood, Jeff Mathis, Reggie Willits due up for the Angels here in the third. Fausto Carmona has struck out 5 of the first 7 hitters that he has faced. The only ball put in play was a line drive hit to first by Alberto Calespo.
Yeah, you know, Fausto, he gets strikeouts when he gets ahead of the hitters and he's able to get guys to chase it. His season high is 7. He's done that 5 times. He had 7 in his last start. But he's on a roll right now. You get 5 in the first 2 innings.
Ground ball to short, Cabrera. Throws him out, 1 quick out here in the third.
Oh.
Here's our AT&T trivia question. AT&T, rethink possible. Which player got his 1,000th, 2,000th, and 3,000th career hit against the Indians? Oh, boy. Oh, I think I know this one. Brandon Wood takes Jeff Mathis takes a strike. Mathis comes in batting 191, and as I was mentioning before, he's the pure catcher, but the 191 average is why Napoli gets a lot more playing
That's
time.
why he gets a hit. 191, you'd figure that.
Little broken bat floater that drops in. First hit of the night for the Angels.
Well, I mean, good pitch. Broke his bat. Cabrera just out of his reach. He was right on the money, wasn't he? Going back for it. Well, first hit of the ball game.
And a one-out base runner for Reggie Willits, who struck out his first time up. Do you know the answer to the trivia question?
I think so.
I figured you would.
Well, there's not many guys that have had 3,000 hits.
Right.
So he had to play in the American League, obviously, his whole career. He had to play a lot against the Indians. So you limit that down. And you know who got the 3,000 hit against the Indians, so you just figure that's got to be him.
It was a quick process of elimination.
Yeah, it was, when you think about it.
And being a former teammate of yours, I figured that's why you locked into it.
Well, some of these trivia questions that Mike gets for us, it's tough to think about during the game. You know, you don't have time to sit down and think. That one was okay for us. Thank you.
Roll to second. Sutton takes the sure out at first, 2 down. Mathis in the scoring position. How about our Subway fresh face of the game? Zach McAllister. 7 innings. Did not walk a batter. Struck out 5, scattering 6 hits. Pitching the Clippers to a 2-0 series lead over the Durham Bulls. So they didn't even get an off day, huh?
No.
Bust right down there and get on the field
Let's
and play.
go, man. It's playoff time. Off days? What do you think?
It's a travel.
Set
You
it
need a
up for
travel
TV?
day.
There's no off days.
You need a travel day, my
No,
man.
you don't.
Big bounce.
You need a travel day.
Oh, my. The Angels get a hit, but they do not score. Bottom of the third coming up. The Tribe. Dark, cloudy skies here in downtown Cleveland. Heavy rains late this afternoon, but only a 9-minute delay in getting underway here tonight in the series and season finale between these two clubs. They have split 8 games on the year. They've split the first 2 in the series. Drew Sutton looks at a strike, 0 for 3 in his Indians debut last night. In the hole, a base hit. Drew Sutton gets his first hit as an Indian. And the Tribe gets their leadoff man aboard here in the 3rd inning.
There you go. You take care of it early in this game. Get it in your first at-bat. Gets a little fastball to his liking. Stayed middled in. They wanted that ball away. And able to find the hole between first and second. So that's the Indians' first hit tonight.
Lou Marson looks at a strike. Lou 1 for 5 so far in the series. And Marson hammers it into the alley in right center field. Hunter won't cut it off. Sutton around second. He's into third. He's going to be waved around by Steve Smith. No throw to the plate, and the Indians take the lead as Lou Marson drives in his 19th run of the year with double number 14.
Boy, that was a pretty swing right there by Marson. And I mean, plugged the gap in right center field. It's almost like a hit and run was on. The runner wasn't going, but that's just a perfect swing, and he plugs the gap. And Sutton comes all the way around to score. He left the ball out over. Lou knew it was going to be out there. It's going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it because you get back-to-back hits starting off the third inning, and the Indians will play from in front tonight and take a 1-0 lead.
It'll bring up Michael Brantley. Callaspo really pinching in hard at third. Brantley squares, bunts it toward him, but it goes foul. And there is Drew Sutton, who the Indians claimed off waivers from the Cincinnati Reds. Spent most of the year at AAA Louisville and AAA Columbus.
You know, I'd rather see Brantley swing the bat here. The way he's swinging it, swing the bat. It's early in the ball game. You got a guy on and get him over.
Got a 15-game hitting streak.
I know it. I don't want to see him bunt. Get him over. I would rather see him go ahead and try and pull the ball and get a hit.
Only Corey Snyder has had a longer hitting streak as a rookie.
I would not give this out up. Not Brantley. He's swinging the bat too well.
Since 1986. Bunts it toward third. Callaspo throws to first. Sacrifice completed. Marson to third. And now Asdrubal Cabrera to the plate. So the Angels will bring the infield in.
Yeah, with one out, that's exactly what they're going to do. And he's going to pound Cabrera inside, I would think. He's been trying to put a lot of pitches inside to most hitters with nobody on. I would think with bases, runner in scoring position, he's going to try and go in there.
Asdrubal 0 for his last 8. 3 for his last 26, trying to break out right here. Worst case scenario, sac fly gets that run home.
Well, I hope they get it done. I mean, I hope they can get him in. You got him over to third base. Now it's up to Cabrera and Chu. But, boy, in that situation, I think I would have let Brantley swing.
Yeah, Cabrera only has 24 runs batted in
he's
on the
not
year.
your typical RBI guy, and I know you want to get the lead, but still early in this ballgame. It's not like it's a seventh inning.
Back out of play. Well, I suppose when you've been shut out as many times as the Indians have and you had trouble scoring runs, you try to squeeze every drop out.
You have the lead. You have a one-run lead. You have your best hitter at the dish. I'm just thinking that, there's ways of thinking all you want about it. In that situation, personally, I wouldn't have done it. I understand why Manny's trying to get that extra run across because you got Carmona on the mound who's throwing the ball very well. Yeah. I understand.
It's a great thing about baseball.
Yeah.
It's always open to looking at it.
You know,
from
he's
more
got
than
a better
one
feel.
viewpoint.
He's in that dugout, and he's got a better feel of what's going on right there in that dugout than I do. But that doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, you have to agree with him.
I tell you what, I was listening to the radio coming in today, and I couldn't believe how many people were calling the national talk shows just burying Joe Girardi.
Why?
He's a bum. He can't manage. He made all these boneheaded moves. It's like the guy won a world championship.
Oh, I
He's
know.
got 88 wins on the year, but you know,
it's easy to talk about a manager until you're in his shoes. Look at that. I knew he was going inside eventually.
That's the second batter that Irvin Santana has hit tonight, but as Rick pointed out earlier, that's nothing new for him.
Well, that's not the guy you want to hit. I mean, you wanted to get after him. He had 2 strikes. You want to try and get him out. Obviously, he did, but he wanted to go inside, but he went way too far inside. I mean, this one wasn't even close. I mean, that's right starting in his back pocket. Got him in the thigh.
Pitching coach Mike Butcher going to go out for a chat.
Now you've got the best hitter on the team you have to face, and you pretty much have to pitch to him.
Chu walked his first time up. But he's got a chance here to make this a big inning now for the Indians with first and third and only 1 out. .39th pitch of the night coming up right here for Santana. And he misses outside for ball 1. Chu rips it foul out of play. 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
I want to send along our congratulations and wish a happy 40th wedding anniversary to our good friends Tim and Joanne Sorge. And you know them. They own Swings and Things.
Oh, yeah.
From what I understand, didn't you go on your first date with your new bride to Swings and
Now,
Things?
how in the world do you know that? Who have you been talking to?
I just have a question.
Here's a blooper. It's dropping down the left field line. Fair ball. That's going to score Marson. And Cabrera got a tremendous read, and he goes all the way to third. Chu with a sky-high bloop double, driving in his 72nd run of the year. And the Tribe's on top 2-0.
Well, that was pretty right there. You couldn't have placed it any better if you walked out there and put it down. Wasn't a bad pitch by Santana, but Chu does a good job of hitting it. It got in on him. He stayed in, down on the trademark, and you can see it just hits, it sticks. So you get the run home. It's a 2-0 lead. You have runners at second and third now, and still just 1 out.
And Travis Hafner will be coming to the plate.
But your first date, huh, with Shelley? Swings and Things.
Yeah.
Tim, that a boy. You get them all. Well, congratulations. A happy 40th wedding anniversary to you and your wife, Joanne. Very good. And I was able to get my partner. Thank you.
Here's the ground ball to third. Cabrera had to go back to the bag.
That's
and
a terrible
they throw
at-bat.
out Hafner for out number 2.
First pitch and just a little weak grounder. He has had problems this whole year hitting with runners in scoring position, and it continues. Join the Chew Crew, new combo pack, a reserve ticket in the right field lower bowl and a Crew Chew t-shirt for just $30. Stop by any Indians team shop or visit Indians.com.
Here's Jordan Brown with runners at second and third and 2 out. Fly to right his first time up. Takes a strike on the outside corner. Boy, now you got me thinking back.
What's that? Back? How'd that date go, by the way?
Well,
Where'd you go? Go-karts?
Obviously went pretty good. Did you go to,
Yeah, well,
here's,
that's your very first date.
You want to hear the really, really lame, embarrassing part of the story, though? And I'm not afraid.
Yes, I do. Because you're married now.
Yeah. She watched me while I got in the batting cage and took some swings. How's that for Walliner?
Holy smokes! I'll tell you what. She probably liked you as a pitcher. Then not a hitter.
Here's the 1-1.
That's beautiful.
Hey, honey, want to watch you take some swings?
Put the helmet on.
Real romantic. Swept her off her
Have
feet.
your batting gloves. Honey, hold my Coke while I go hit a couple out for you. Oh, boy.
The 1-2 swung on and missed. Inning is over, but the Indians get on the board first tonight. Couple RBI hits, 2-zip drive after 3. Now, as we go to the 4th inning here at Progressive Field, Fausto Carmona will face Torrey Hunter to lead things off. And it's a first pitch strike. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning with you, joined now by Josh Grove from Great Clips, our real proud and happy partner this year during our donation. Every time the Indians have homered this year, Great Clips has donated $50 to a very worthwhile charity, a favorite of ours, The Gathering Place, which does such great work from 2 locations, one in Beechwood, one in Westlake. They help individuals and family members, both who are battling cancer, and they do this with a variety of programs that are offered free of charge. And, Josh, we certainly thank you guys for jumping on, and back-to-back years we've raised a lot of money.
Absolutely, absolutely. We feel very, very special to be a part of Gathering Place and being able to raise money through our salons. And, that's the great thing about being with Great Clips is that there we
There's
are right
check
there.
presentation right there today. Very nicely done. Eileen from the Gathering Place with you. Who's that in the blue?
That's Suds. That's our mascot.
Oh,
okay.
Suds. I was going to
Bottle
say.
of shampoo.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Suds. All right. Learn something every day.
Yeah. And our franchise are individually owned and operated, and so we really like to give back to the community. And here in the Northern Ohio market, we definitely have a great partnership with them.
Yeah, it's nice. Matt and I joined, a few years ago, and it's really been fun. We were hoping that they would hit more home runs than what they did this year, but you know what? We can continue and hopefully add on.
That sounds good.
That's Eileen in the back there. Eileen Saffron from the Gathering Place. Go ahead and wave, Eileen. Yeah.
She usually comes on when she gets here and they hit a home run. She goes crazy. She did 2 years ago. She missed last year.
Matsui blisters one down the left field line. And they hold him to a long one-out single here in the 4th inning.
Well, actually, I'm a Brewers fan, and so hopefully I'll be cheering for Matt Laporta to maybe heat up a little bit and get some more home runs here.
Well, yeah, Matt had the day off. He's got the day off tonight. But you never know. May see him come in a pinch hit appearance.
You do realize that this is a former Brewer you're standing next to, right?
And Indians, Brewers, absolutely.
1 on, 1 out now for Alberto Callaspo, who lined out to first base his first time up earlier here tonight.
We ought to ask you our trivia question for the night and see if you know the answer.
I can take my best crack at it.
All right. What baseball player, what player got his 1,000th, 2,000th, and 3,000th hit against the Indians?
Boy, that is going to be a tough one.
All right, well, let's just think about it for a little bit. We'll give you a little breather, but that was posed us earlier. And I'm thinking it might be a Brewer.
Double play to short. 6-4-3. And the inning is over. Josh, thanks so much for stopping by.
Thank you very much
thanks
for having
for
me.
Great Clips partnership with us with the Gathering Place and all the great work you guys do.
Thank you very much.
We'll tell you the answer on commercial break.
Paul Molitor.
Oh! Two-zip drive, bottom of the fourth here at Progressive Field.
We didn't give much time to think about it, did we? Fausto got that patented double play ball.
Yes, he did, and that's good to see from him. You love to see the strikeouts, but you like to see the ground balls put it in play
2
early
outs
so
with
he
one
can,
pitch.
He can get through some more innings.
Well, 100 in the complete game, his last outing, 108 pitches. You keep him right around that 100-pitch mark, and you like to see. He only had that second inning in his last start where he had 26 pitches. And, when Fausto can go out there for a 15, 13, 11 pitch inning, that bodes well for him going deep into the game.
Swung on and missed. Jason Nix hit by a pitch his first time up.
Great example here. Like the first inning, he had 23 pitches. Then he went to 10, 9, 7. So that's a beautiful thing for Fausto.
Looks like he's in the zone right there, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's good. Let him stay there.
Swung on and missed. Nix strikes out. 2 Ks for Santana. 1 down here in the fourth. Well, as we just mentioned, every time the Indians homer this year, our friends at Great Clips are donating $50 per homer. Rick and I are also making a donation as well. And you can log on to touchedbycancer.org to make a donation yourself and help put more money into the kitty. Closing in on $6,800 for the season. The wonderful thing about the Gathering Place is not only do they offer programs that are free of charge for both individuals who have cancer and their family members who are ultimately affected by it as well. But it's a community. It's a network of people who are going through similar experiences, who can empathize with what you're dealing with and how it affects you. I mean, I encourage anybody who's going through it to check out the gathering place. Base hit by Trevor Crow with one out here in the fourth inning. 4 hits now for the Tribe. And Drew Sutton will be coming to the plate.
Well, this is the guy that got it going last inning, back in the third inning. Started the inning off with a base hit, scored on the double.
His first hit as an Indian. Switch hitter, Drew Sutton. Not a play. One and one to count. Runner goes. Pitches down low. Throw. Hit Crow, and because it rolls away, thought he was going to break for third, but he decided to just stand pat. #16th stolen base of the year for Trevor Crow. Another look courtesy of Saucony Shoes, dedicated to inspiring every runner every day. At Saucony we run.
He might have had a chance to get up and go to third base there. Didn't want to test it. That would have been an awfully tough play for Wood to pick up that ball running to left field and make a throw to third.
Swing and a miss. Now, my wife has no idea that we were just talking about our first date on the air. She was just texting me.
Oh, she found out who was watching.
No, my son got done with football, and she said he's a giant pile of mud. After the rainstorms we had, I can understand why.
Good thing he's in her car. And you're going on the road, you can't clean it out.
I might have had to make him walk home.
He would have. All right, Max, there. We got to jog behind the truck so you can stay in shape. Hopefully she had some towels down.
Drew Sutton with a runner at second and one out. And he foul-tipped it into the glove for out number 2.
Well, a Tribe game at Progressive Field is a great choice for a way to watch a ball game for your group. Special discounts are available for groups of 25 or more, up to 50% off every ticket. Call 216-420-HITS or visit Indians.com.
Lou Marson doubled in the first run of the game in the third. Quickly the count 0-2. All of a sudden Santana has found a little bit of a groove. The last 3 outs recorded have all been via the strikeout. And he's got Marson down 0-2. .60 pitches so far, 40 have been strikes. Just missed with that one. Santana looked like he wanted it. Little tapper foul. Marson with a hit here would push his season batting average up over that 200 mark. And more than likely would add to the Indians' 2-0 lead. That bounced in there and kicks away. And down to third base goes Trevor Crowe.
10th wild pitch for Santana. A little breaking ball that gets away from Mathis. Looked like it deflected off his arm, his forearm.
Did. Yeah.
I mean, he was right down in front of it trying to block it. It just deflected off his arm.
There's a fly ball to right. Back goes Hunter. Still chasing back. And he makes the basket catch just inside the line. 4 complete from Progressive Field. It's the Indians 2 and the Angels nothing. Party Pack, 50 Chicken McNuggets for $9.99. McDonald's, I'm loving it. By KeyBank, stop in and start a conversation and unlock your possibilities. And by Panini's, now open in Chagrin Falls, Solon, and Brunswick. Visit paninisgrill.com. 2-zip, Indians on top. 5th inning, Mike Napoli, Kevin Franson, and Brandon Wood due up for the Angels. Fausto Carmona has been very good here tonight, following up that phenomenal start he had against the Twins with another solid effort. 50 pitches coming into this 5th inning for Fausto. He's allowed just 2 hits. He's walked 1. He has struck out 5. And Napoli pulling off that pitch once again down on the count. 0-2. Wouldn't get him to chase. Saw Carlos Santana in the Indians clubhouse today. Still has the knee brace on and still he's using the crutches, although you can tell it's just more of a kind of a precautionary thing. They don't want him putting weight on it yet. Struck him out. That's 6 Ks for Carmona. 1 shy of the season high, which Rick told you earlier. He's done that a number of times.
5 times
this year. But Santana was in good spirits. You know, you can tell he's kind of heartbroken, but he's also chomping at the bit. Can't wait to get back next year. Carmona has induced 30 double plays this year.
Yeah, he's outstanding at that. Well, anytime you're hurt, I mean, you come around, you see the boys, you want to be part of it, and you want to play. Players want to play. You don't want to sit and watch.
Swing and a miss. His rehab is progressing, too, to the point where I guess the flexibility for a catcher. That's a huge
he'll
part
end
of
up,
it.
I would imagine, out in Arizona for the most part all winter, won't he?
Manny said he's going to spend the entire month of October in Arizona. Little comebacker to Carmona. 2 quick outs. So I would imagine, you get out to Arizona and you just continue to do your rehab work. And
well, that's where Grady will be all winter long. He lives out in Arizona, but that's part of the rehab that.
That's why they built the facility.
Exactly.
A centralized location.
Absolutely. They have somebody there every day that you can go through your rehabs, and everything's done, monitored by someone in the organization that can keep an eye on it, and they know exactly what you're doing and how you're going about it.
The 0-1 pitch. And I'm sure there are a lot of people out there maybe watching this who are thinking, I had knee surgery and I went to rehab. I can't imagine the rehab for a pro athlete.
No.
I mean, it's not just like a 15-minute session and we'll see you next week. I mean, it's every day.
It's hours a day, every day.
Probably painful
to
a certain extent.
I mean, you don't realize when you have to, build it back up, you're not just building it up to walk on it. You're building it up to play a baseball season on it. If you're a catcher, to do something, you're going to have to do it every day. And you're going to have to do it hard every day.
I just remember, back in the old days, remember the movie Brian Song? Where they kind of showed what Gale Sayers went through before they knew what ACL surgery was or any of that ligament transplant stuff. That was grueling, the process. 2-2. Popped him up on the infield, and Carmona.
He's pointing at it. He may want it, too. Well, go ahead and take it yourself, big man.
He is dealing here tonight. We go to the bottom of the 5th, still 2-0 Tribe. Indians advantage. Moving along now to the bottom of the 5th inning. Top of the order for the Tribe, Michael Brantley. 0 for 1. Laid down a sacrifice bunt his last time up. Trying to extend his hitting streak to 16 games. Corey Snyder hit in 17 in a row as a rookie back in 1986. There's a big bouncer to first. Napoli will go to the bag himself. 1 down. Here's our game recap brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Lou Marson with an RBI double in the 3rd got the Indians on the board first as Drew Sutton came home to score. And then Shin-Soo Choo with an RBI bloop double just inside the line. That plated Marson, and it's 2-zip Cleveland. For a dealer near you, visit buyatoyota.com. As Drupal Cabrera hit by pitches last time up. And that proved to be potentially, I guess you could look at it, costly to Santana, because then he had to face Choo, and Choo got him with the RBI double.
It really was. He had him down in the count. It was 1-2. He tried to go inside, hit him on the thigh, the back of the leg, and boy, that's the one where you wanted to go after because Choo was on deck, and he made a good pitch to Choo. But Choo's the best hitter the Indians got, and he found a way to bloop it in.
The Choo crew. And the 2-1 to Cabrera. Popped him up. Shallow right. Torrey Hunter jogging in. 2 down. This scoreboard update is brought to you by Wendy's. You know when it's real. Wendy's. And don't blink because it's a short one.
Yeah, there's, just 2 games in the American League tonight.
Us and the White Sox. White Sox Twins battling. Although, I think the battle's pretty much...
Battle's over.
They haven't raised the white flag, but they're close.
Fat lady singing.
Bunted foul by Choo up the third base side. Speaking of those Minnesota Twins, we'll see them on our next road trip. Tribe's off to Kansas City for 3 this weekend, and then Minnesota next week. The 0-1 pitch. What did you say Minnesota's magic number was going into today?
I think it was 11.
It's 10, according to Murph. So if they,
win,
it'll be
10.
down to
All
8.
right.
So potentially, there's an outside chance they could be playing for a clinch of the division when we're there. Choo strikes out. Indians go in order. 5 in the books. 2-zip Cleveland. Game. Pepsi 12 packs, 3 for $10 at any Northeast Ohio Mark's location.
So come into your nearest Mark's, where you'll find a huge selection at low prices every day.
Well, Carmona coming back out for the 6th, where in his last 21 innings, he has been outstanding. Scoreless innings. Very nice. 21 consecutive.
There's never been anybody who has questioned the strength, the stamina of Fausto Carmona. It's just been, trying to harness all that talent, the ability that he has. But, man, the way he's pitching here down the stretch, it's impressive. Blooped going out. Sutton says, I'll have it, and he does. I'm not sure if Chu was going to get there, so a nice play by the youngster Drew Sutton. 1 down. Let's get the answer to our AT&T trivia question. AT&T Rethink Possible. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 career hits all against the Tribe, and the answer is
Robin Yount.
How about that? Happy birthday, Robin. 55 years old. Big chopper to first. Jordan Brown steps on the bag, 2 down.
I know 3,000 came off of Mesa. I remember that one.
Yeah.
Sandy Whittall.
Schultz.
1980. Don Schultz, right-hander, right-hander, right-hander. All 3 right-handers.
All right, here's an interesting twist to the whole story. All right. Today is Robin Yount's birthday, September 16th. September 15th, the day before his birthday, 1971. His brother Larry was preparing to make his major league debut, warming up in the bullpen for the Houston Astros. Felt something wrong in his arm. Knew something wasn't right, but it's your major league debut. He gets the call, comes out, starts warming up on the mound. Too much pain. It just immediately started burning in his elbow. He had to leave. Walked off the mound, never to return to a big league ball game.
No kidding. So never made his start.
But because he was officially announced, he gets credit for appearing in a game, even though he never threw a pitch. So the Yount brothers played in a total of 2,857 games.
Yount had 2,056 of them.
That's courtesy of our good friend Bill Chuck. And he's got great information, baseball, odds and ends. Check him out online at billy-ball.com. Does great work. Bobby Abreu walked in the first, grounded out in the third, and that's just a little bit outside. Carmona was hoping for a punch out right there. Would match his season high.
This is a tough guy to get it against, but I think he will get it tonight, the way he's pitching.
It's number 70 right here. Grounded foul.
Send along birthday wishes to Barbara Lawful of Astabula, turning 68 today. Barbara, happy birthday.
Bottom of the 5th down in Durham. Durham Bulls lead the Columbus Clippers 2-0 tonight. Shattered bat. Pieces flying everywhere. Sutton throws out Abreu. And the Angels go 1-2-3. Carmona continues to mow him down.
Well, he had to take one there because in his first 2 at-bats, he swung at the first pitch.
Bounced it in there. 1-1 to count. Travis Hafner 0 for 2 on the night. Shift on, 3 on the right side. And the 1-1 to Pronk. Kind of awkwardly glanced off the glove of Jeff Mathis there. Now the 2-1. Fastball up and away. Three-one delivery. Hafner fouls it over toward the Angel dugout. Pitch number 80 right here for Irvin Santana. He's retired the last 5 Indians in a row. He's only allowed 4 hits on the night, but the Indians bunched a couple of them together to plate their 2 runs. Checked. It was low, ball 4. Here's our Miller Taste Greatness moment. 1993. Off Dennis Eckersley, Dave Winfield with his 3,000th career hit.
Yeah, we're looking at a lot of 3,000s today.
Robin Yount, we just saw earlier, got his 1, 2, and 3,000th career hits against the Indians. Jordan Brown with a high fly ball, center field. Willits coming in. 1 away. On this date in 1996, Robin Yount's teammate,
another 3,000.
Paul Molitor, then with the Minnesota Twins. John Nunnally can't make the catch, and Paul Molitor is going to go all the way to third with a triple. Nunnally, of course, the Indians hitting coach now. He was trying to steal number 3,000 from Molitor.
I got to talk to him about that. A little alligator arm there.
No. Maybe he wanted Molitor to get his 3,000th career hit. No. But I believe, if Redbird told me correctly, that Molitor's the only player to get his 3,000th career hit with a triple.
Yeah, that makes sense. They're normally too old to run that far.
That's a good point, too. Never thought about that.
40 years old when you're getting 3,000 hits, man. Yeah. They're not going to run to third. They'll stop at second and say, who cares? Who wants a triple? That's just the way he was.
And, of course, seeing Dave Winfield, the highlight of his 3,000th career hit at the Metrodome, reminds me of Eddie Murray getting his 3,000th career hit with the Indians at the Metrodome, which was 1995.
I think Wade Boggs was the only guy to get the home run on his 3,000th hit.
What's that?
Wasn't Boggs the only guy to hit a home run on his 3,000th? Now that we're on 3,000, it was against us.
I remember it happening. I don't know that he's the only one, though. I don't know.
Yeah, probably. He is. Oh, absolutely. Like Molitor's the triple, Boggs is the home run.
And Redbird told me that Winfield is also the only one to get his 3,000th off a future Hall of Famer. In the air, right field. Coming in, Hunter makes the catch. 2 down. All this trivia, our heads are spinning. Let's go back to the studios. Al Pawlowski, he's got an in-game update for us.
All right, Matt, Rick, let's go to the National League. St. Louis with Jake Westbrook on the hill tonight. The Cards get them a 1-0 lead in the first with this RBI single by Matt Holliday. They're heading to the third. The Cards lead the Padres, who lead the West by only a half a game, by 1. Back to you, Matt.
Okay, thanks, Al. Trevor Crowe steps in. 1 for 2 on the night. Runner at first and 2 down. Back and out of play. Bounced just wide of the bag. Remember last night all those little bugs that were flying around? They're like blanketing everything now.
Well, they were all over the place last night.
Now their little tiny carcasses are all over everything. Irvin Santana trying to retire Trevor Crow and get out of the 6th. Keep it a 2-0 game. Hafner takes his short lead at first. Crow punches it in the air to right. Torrey Hunter will make the catch. 6 complete. It's still Cleveland 2 and the Angels nothing.
AT.com. AT&T Rethink Possible. Buy the Sierra from GMC. Never send a truck to do a Sierra's job. And by Wendy's. You know when it's real. Wendy's.
Indians still on top 2-0. As we move along to the 7th inning, Torrey Hunter, Hideki Matsui, and Alberto Callaspo for the Angels. Fausto Carmona just over the 70-pitch mark. 22 consecutive scoreless.
When you look at Carmona, the first 4 batters of the ballgame took him 23 pitches. But the next 16 batters, 47 pitches. No 3-ball counts. That's exactly how he was in his last start. You know, you can see tonight, 74 pitches, 54 strikes, just 20 balls. And for Fausto, that's outstanding.
Whoa, I don't know how Hunter lays off that pitch with 2 strikes.
Well, he can't hit it.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to hit it, so you take it and hope they call it a ball. I mean, and when he's missing, he's not missing by much.
And the 2-2, that was down low, full count. Fausto Carmona struck out 5 of the first 7 hitters to start this game. He only has 1 since. The payoff pitch. Hunter stays alive.
That's all right. I like to see him better when they put it in play. Like you say, minimize or limit it 3 pitches or less. He'll stay around the game. He'll go deep into the game and turn it over to that bullpen. That's why I thought it was very important to get him a lead early tonight. They were able to do that. And he has been in total command. Much like Weaver was last night, except Weaver had 7 runs to work with in the first 2 innings.
You could see Torrey Hunter almost gesture back toward Lou Marston and home plate umpire Bob Davidson as if to say, that ball almost hit my thumbs, and I somehow got the bat head out just to foul it off. Pitch was really bearing in on him. 3-2. Swung on and missed. He has struck out his season-high tying 7th batter of the game.
Look at his strikeouts tonight. They come early. He couldn't check it or hold it up there. Gets Hunter, gets Matsui on that pitch. Might have been a little low, but there's a nice sinker to Napoli. Swings over the top. And he is dealing tonight.
Matsui just got a piece of it, and it's 0-2. And we've said that a lot tonight. There have been a lot of swings where when they haven't swung and missed, they've just barely fouled some balls off.
Well, barely, and he fouled that one off his foot. Fausto, 11 out of the 21 hitters faced 3 pitches or less.
I mean, they haven't barreled any balls up tonight.
Well, it's hard to do when that thing's moving, man.
Yeah.
They didn't in his last start. For whatever reason, he's got everything working.
That was hammered. Deep right center field and gone. Hideki Matsui with his 20th home run of the year. Gets the Angels on the board, and now it's a 2-1 ball game. So Carmona's consecutive innings scoreless streak is snapped after Matsui was down in the count with 2 strikes. But he didn't miss that one.
That was an 0-2 pitch, and they're looking at a slider. And, I mean, that's down, maybe middle of the plate. Matsui swinging the bat very well. You said he's been hitting 400 for the last month, so he didn't miss that one. And he gets the Angels on the board, cuts the lead in half.
And now some life in that Angels dugout, because even though Carmona had really dominated them, the way Santana has pitched, only allowing the 2 runs, they're still very much in this game.
Yeah, 1 swing away from it. That's Matsui's 20th homer and the 13th that Fausto has given up this year.
Alberto Callaspo 0 for 10 in the series. He's actually 0 for 11. Fausto about to make his 88th pitch on the evening. Okay, Aspo just keeps fouling him off.
The wind's starting to pick up. You can hear it.
It's cooled down quite a bit,
yes, it
too.
has. Coming in. That wind's coming in off the lake, it seems.
Pitch number 90 on the night now for Carmona. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Boy, put one in play. He has fouled off. He's had to foul off 5 or 6 pitches. Six foul balls.
These are the kind of hitters that have to drive a pitcher crazy.
They do. It doesn't matter what you do. He's throwing them every pitch, changeup, sinker, fastball, and he just finds a way. There you go. Put one in play.
Carmona covers the bag. 2 down.
Well, the Cleveland Indians have teamed up with Majestic Steel USA to present BASE, baseball and softball education to youth ball players, parents, and coaches. Visit Indians.com/BASE for more details and find out how you can get a free Manny Acta question and answer DVD.
Swing and a miss by Mike Napoli, who has struck out twice tonight. Strike called. Napoli doesn't like it. He's down on the count now. 1-2. Just does stay alive.
These guys have been beating themselves up today, the Angels hitters. Balls going everywhere, going straight down into their feet, off their legs.
Be some extra ice packs on that plane ride to Florida.
You're not kidding.
And the 1-2. Oh, again.
Well, again, a pitcher jumping off the mound thought it was a strike. He's going to have to wait. He's talking to himself. You don't see Fausto do that. There he is right there, down and away. Can't hit it. Looks like a good pitch. There's the two-seamer, the sink. And it's tough not to hit the top part of that baseball. It's tough to hit it in the air.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's why you get so many foul balls.
You do.
There's a high drive, deep right, and way gone. We are tied at 2. Mike Napoli with his 25th home run of the year. And for the second night in a row, an Indians hitter doesn't get a third strike called to get out of a jam, and it cost him.
Well, this one hurts because it ties the game right now. And it is a 2-2 ball game. 25th home run for Napoli. Both home runs with 2 strikes. That ball too much of the plate. That came back over the plate. You see where Marson was sitting. He turned. He knew it was gone as soon as he hit it. So we have a tie game.
And this is now the 100th pitch of the night. And, of course, it's fouled off. One ball, one strike. Kevin Franzen 0 for 2 here in the ballgame. Swing and a miss. He strikes him out. Ends the inning. A season-high 8 Ks for Carmona, but 2 solo homers for the Angels. And we are tied at 2. Panini's home of the overstuffed sandwich with 3 new locations. Chagrin Falls, Solon, Brunswick. Coming soon to Twinsburg. Log on to paninisgrill.org for a list of all their locations. Drew Sutton will lead it off here in the bottom of the seventh inning. We have got a tie ball game now.
Boy, Carmona was on cruise control. Then a couple of pitches on the plate, and they took advantage of it, hit it out of the ballpark, and tied the game up.
Threw it by him 0-2. Drew Sutton, a Tennessee native, was a 15th round pick originally by the Houston Astros back in 2004. Out of Baylor. Little tapper. And Santana goes himself one away. Let's go back to the studios for another in-game update. Al Pawlowski has the latest on the Twins and the White Sox.
Well, Matt, so far the series has gone all the Twins' way, and it's starting that way again here tonight. J.J. Hardy with the base hit in the second inning. That double drives in the third run of the night for the Twins. They lead it now 3-1, bottom of the third. Carl Pavano pitching for Minnesota. Back to you.
You know, Ron Gardenhire said that there was a big portion of the season where Carl Pavano really carried their pitching staff.
I can believe that. He was, he's been very, very good.
As good as Liriano and Dunsing have been, you know, there was a period where everybody was kind of scuffling along, and Pavano was the linchpin.
They have all scuffled at one point in time this year, except Pavano.
And Dunsing's really been a guy who I think, you know, for teams like the Twins and the Indians, those mid-market clubs, you always, when you have a great year, there's always one unexpected guy that pops out.
Well, he started for him last year, if you remember. At the tail end, they did a really nice job. And I mean, that team never kicked in until he got into the rotation. It seemed to take pressure off everybody else. He pitched a game here against us and was very good.
His ERA still, I think, in the 2s. That's pretty impressive. He just walked the number 9 hitter, Lou Marson. And with a one out here in the 7th, we go to the top of the order, Michael Brantley. Irvin Santana closing in on 100 pitches on the night. Michael Brantley 0 for 2, sack bunt in the third, helped the Indians tack on a run. The 0-1 pitch. Brantley bloops it towards center. Wood backpedaling, makes the catch. 2 down. Tonight after the game, join Chuck Coletti for Chuck's Last Call, presented by PNC Bank. He'll take your calls and your emails following the Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care postgame show. It's Chuck's Last Call, presented by PNC Bank, tonight after the game right here on STO. As Dribble Cabrera 0 for 2. It almost looks, Rick, that like Cabrera is trying to jump at every pitch. Remember how Victor Martinez would get into those funks where he was, instead of letting the ball come to him and just react, he was just out in front of everything?
Getting the body working instead of the hands.
Yeah.
There's a change up there.
Of course, when you're in a slump, everything looks wrong, I'm sure.
Well, a guy that chokes up, he's on the plate. He doesn't mind the ball inside. But he hasn't been swinging it well. Look at the delayed steal. How about that?
That was tremendous.
Lou Marson has done a great job stealing. He's got 8 stolen bases. Been caught one time. A delayed steal. Shuffle. You know, that's where you catch the middle infielders with their heads down. Watch this. Shuffle, and now Mathis doesn't even know he's running because no one said he's stealing.
That's literally when you catch him napping.
That's beautiful. That's exactly what it's all designed by that.
But Cabrera can't get out of his funk, and the Indians leave him stranded in scoring position. We go to the 8th, tied at 2.
The express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
We move along now to the 8th inning here at Progressive Field. And the Indians go to their bullpen. And Joe Smith will be coming on.
Brought to you by H.H. Gregg. Joe Smith coming on for the 47th time. And, you know, this is how tough this game would be. As well as Fausto pitched tonight, he's going to get a no decision. And, I mean, he had 22 consecutive scoreless innings and a couple of home runs. One pitch, he thought he had a guy struck out on strike 3. Ends up leaving the yard, tying the game up, and he will have a no decision. So now it's up to the bullpen.
Strike called to Brandon Wood, who is 0 for 2 here tonight. You know, here's a game tonight, Rick, where, okay, the Indians' offense only gave Carmona 2 runs, which in this day and age, that's, I mean,
it's nothing.
It is, exactly. But at least Carmona can walk out of this thing tonight and say, you know what, I had the lead, though. I had a 2-run lead, and I have nobody to blame but myself, as opposed to,
true,
you know,
being shut out 2-0. I understand what you're saying. You're right. He's got something positive to take out of this game. Unfortunately, the offense for this Indians team, they don't seem to score more than 2 runs. 3 runs tops unless a team makes an error.
.73 times out of 145 games they've been held to 3 runs or less, and they're right there again unless they get something rolling here late.
Well, last night was the 25th time they've had 5 hits or less. They were 0-25 there. I mean, you're not going to hit if you don't score in this league.
Here's our great clip of the game from last night, brought to you by Great Clips. Justin Germano came out of that Indians bullpen and really gave him a huge pick-me-up. Germano working 3 perfect innings, striking out 4.
Yeah, he had good stuff last night. The whole bullpen.
In fact, his 4 strikeouts came within the first 6 batters.
Got a pinch hitter, Conger.
Hank Conger will come on and hit for Jeff Mathis. Conger, a switch hitter. Good raw power. Guy that I have to believe they're very excited about, and probably one of the reasons that they're at least whispering about maybe making Mike Napoli available on the trade market this winter. 2 down. Hey, Sunday night on STO, it's the second episode of the STO Celebrity Par 3 Shootout. This week, Doug Deacon, Kevin Mack, Jason Trusnick, all from the Browns. And there's me, too. Compete with the winner advancing to the finals in a few weeks. Jim Donovan, Jimmy Hanlon have all the action. STO Celebrity Par 3 Shootout Sunday night at 10 right here on STO.
Red and black. You're in your Sunday red like Tiger.
Too bad I didn't play like it. Reggie Willits 0 for 3. Well, your show aired last Sunday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we know that you've already advanced.
That's right.
You have advanced to the championship
To the
round.
finals.
Yeah.
They let me advance. It was theirs to win.
Jordan Walden loosening. Wow, what is wrong with that bit? I think it was right there.
Well, there's been a number of pitches today that we felt were right there, and you get stares from pitchers and from everywhere.
That is a strike,
well,
folks.
I'm telling you, it hasn't been all night long. Bob Davidson hasn't called that inside fastball. Now you're calling that one. There's been pitches in the same spots that one was a strike, the next time it was a ball. You know, and I think one thing you want, whether it's a pitcher, a hitter, or whatever, is the consistency from that guy back there calling balls and strikes.
Flip a coin. Ball 4. Runner at first with 2 down for Bobby Abreu, who was 0 for 2 on the night. Maniac is coming out. He's going to make a move right here. So we've got a timeout here at Progressive Field. Tony Sips coming on when we come back. With 1 on and 2 out. And the new pitcher is left-hander Tony Sipp. On for the 64th time this year. 2 up, 2 down, 4.21 ERA. He'll be facing Bobby Abreu.
Well, also neutralize that guy at first base, Reggie Willits, who can steal a base if need be. He's got good speed, so the left-hander makes it a little more difficult for him to take off.
Sipp delivers. And a fastball strike. Well, Abreu's had his troubles against Tony Sipp. He's 0 for 2 tonight, 2 for 10 in the series. About the Clippers, they've rallied back to tie Durham. 2-2, they're in the 9th inning.
They win, it's over, right?
Yeah. There's the 1-1 pitch. Nope, but throw to first instead. Another throw over. Willits hanging close to the bag. Abreu able to lay off a tough pitch right there.
Yeah, that's that good slider from Tony Sipp, and tough on left-handers, but this guy's he's something special from the left side. He was able to check his swing.
Got him to swing and miss there. Evens the count of 2-2. Another toss over, and again, not much doing there for Willits. The 2-2 to Abreu. Bounced in there, and Marston with a good smother job. By the way, Wes Hodges has driven in both runs tonight for the Columbus Clippers. He's 2 for 4. Runner at first. Willits will take off on the 3-2 pitch, but Tony Sipp steps away first. Smash to center, a base hit. Willits will go all the way to third. Angels at the corners with 2 down. And now Torrey Hunter to the plate.
Well, it looked like a fastball to me. It's upstairs, and that's why Abreu was able to take advantage of it. That was a full count. Tony didn't want to walk him. And with the first baseman, Jordan Brown, playing back, Willis was off and running on the full count, 2 outs, easy to get to third base. So now Tony's got to go after the right-hander and retire him, see if he can get out of this inning.
Back to the screen. The 0-1 pitch in the dirt. Twins lead the White Sox 3-1. They're in the 4th in Chicago. Cardinals on top of the Padres 1-0. They're in the 5th in St. Louis. Boy, San Diego, they just can't seem to right the ship right now.
Well, they're hanging in there.
Their lead over the Giants down to a half game entering play tonight. Colorado just 2.5 back in the West. One pitch. Called a strike, and it's 1-2. And now Torrey Hunter's not happy with Bob Davidson. Well, that's...
You know, we've seen pitches that you think are strikes that are balls. You see pitches that look like they're low, they're strikes. I mean, that's how it's been tonight.
Now a 1-2. Hunter with a high drive. Deep right center. Back is Chu, and he will make the catch on the front edge of the warning track to end the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th, all tied up at 2. Bottom of the 8th inning here in Cleveland, tied at 2. Bobby Wilson has taken over behind the plate now for Jeff Mathis. Shin-Soo Choo, big bouncing ball to first. 1 pitch, 1 out. Irvin Santana, over 100 pitches on the night, but he's still in there in the 8th inning. And he'll face Travis Hafner, who is 0 for 2 on the night. Strike 1 called. Hafner 0 for 6 here in the series. One and 1 to count. 2 runs on 5 hits for the Angels. They've stranded 4 tonight. 2 runs, 4 hits for the Indians. They've left 6 on base. Boy, how big does that at bat Travis had back in the 3rd inning look now? A tie game. He had runners at 2nd and 3rd and only 1 out. But he had a ground ball to the 3rd baseman, and Cabrera had to hold because it was right at Callaspo. But it was on the first pitch of the at bat.
Yeah. Well, when you have opportunities early in the game, sometimes that you don't take advantage of, they come back to haunt you later, especially when you're a team that you don't score a lot to begin with. That extra run might have been what, back what Carmona needed.
This will be pitch number 110 on the night for Irvin Santana. And the payoff to Travis Hafner is a ground ball foul. With that shift on, any kind of a ground ball from the hole to the line is not going to get through.
Well, unless you just smoke it. And hit it right on the nose.
Out of play, count remains 3-2. With 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Chris Perez is loosening in the Indians' bullpen. And more than likely, he'll be coming on to work the 9th regardless of what the Indians do here. Ground ball to first. Napoli will go himself 2 down. So Jordan Brown with 2 down on the bottom of the 8th comes to the plate 0 for 3 on the night. This time it's the second baseman, Franson, who throws him out, and the Indians go in order. We'll go to the 9th, tied at 2.
Perez, their closer, and Maniacta does that a lot. Tie game at home. Bring on your closer in the 9th inning, who has been just outstanding. You look at the end of June, Chris Perez, I don't know if there's been anybody better. He's given up a couple of runs, and that's about it. He blew one save. They ended up getting the win in that ball game. They came back, and then it has been save after save for Chris Perez. And 9 of his 10 saves this year have been one-run saves. They haven't been easy.
I thought it was interesting what he said after his last save. And remember, it was a little bit hairy.
Right.
He had tying run at third, go-ahead run at second in the 9th. But he said, for me, when I get in trouble, I've gotten into this mindset where I want to slow it down. And by slowing it down, my velocity's actually picked up a little bit.
Uh-huh. Well, now it's not like you get in there and you're rushing to get everything out. You're not in a hurry. You know what your job is. And that's what, how many times have we talked about the game speeds up on a lot of players? And it did with him when he first came in, when you don't know what happens. You don't know what to expect, and you try and get through things that you just have to back off and slow everything down. And he's to that point now where he gets it. And the confidence that he's exuding out there shows. I mean, you see him walk around. He's got a great personality. He's great in the clubhouse. He's fun to be around. He's got great stories. This guy's going to be a good one.
Fouled out of play. The thing I like about him, too, it's kind of refreshing, is that he doesn't guard his words. He doesn't carefully choose each word as though it's a matter of national security.
Well,
he just
he'll
lets
learn
it fly.
how to do it.
Lets it hang out.
I know. He'll learn how to, pick and choose what he says. But, there's sometimes. As a matter of fact, the Angels beat him earlier this year on a bunt. He came in the first hitter.
Remember that? Yeah.
He came in. That's a stupid play. They just won the game on a bunt play. And he came out and he hated it. He said, that's bad baseball. And I sort of had to laugh because I'm thinking, wow, the guy did a job. He won the ball game. But, that was emotionally. He said, I didn't like it. So it was pretty good.
I don't know that there's a blueprint for how you break in a new closer at the major league level. But you look at what happened with him this year. Kerry Wood was hurt to start the year, so he starts as your closer.
Right.
But there was that sort of safety net in the back of his mind that, Kerry Wood's eventually coming back here. Whether he did well or whether he struggled, he always knew in the back of his mind that Kerry Wood was eventually
going to go
coming
back to setup.
And then Kerry Wood did come back. He was less than effective and eventually got traded.
He was terrible.
And then Chris Perez resumed.
He's been lights out since Kerry Wood has been traded to New York. And that's what we're talking about when you look at the end of June.
Yeah, he has been lights out.
But, the opportunities have not always been there because the Indians haven't gone into the 9th with the lead a whole lot.
And let's face it, Mariano Rivera has absolutely ruined it for closers throughout the game because people... the level of expectations.
He's in his own world.
Yeah, he really is.
He's not. You don't rate other people like him, and if you do, you can't do anything but lose.
But this guy's been very good. Check the swing. He went. Bob Davidson's going to punch him out. No appeal necessary. One down.
Yeah, you'll see the movement on this ball, and that's getting up there. You see, that thing just took off, and once he started, Matsui couldn't hold up. See, that's having to get it started because he's throwing 95.
Oh, boy, the rains have returned here at Progressive Field. They're starting to come down here in the 9th. Here's a 2-1. And a one-hop smash to second. Sutton throws him out. And Alberto Callaspo 0 for 13 in this series. 2 down. And Mike Napoli will be the batter. Well, this is the classic matchup. This is the one you come to the ballpark to see late in games. Power versus power. You got Perez, who can throw it up there in the mid-upper 90s, and you got Mike Napoli, who has one thing on his mind when he comes to the plate, and that's hit it as hard as he humanly can.
Well, he tied this game up with 2 outs in the 7th inning.
Yes, he did.
Off Fausto Carmona. There was an awfully close pitch that could have been Carmona's 8th strikeout. Wasn't called. And then later, a couple pitches later in that at-bat, he got a fastball up out over the plate and shoots it to right center field to tie it.
One and one to count. Now Perez has him down on the count 1-2. Chris, who played collegiately at the University of Miami, still loves the Hurricanes. He told me as long as Ohio State didn't get out to a big lead early last Saturday, he thought the Canes had a chance, but they did not.
Did you say anything to him afterwards?
Oh, yeah.
That would be you.
I mean, he's not one of those guys who, he was pretty realistic about it. No, not one of these guys, well, they're going to trounce them, that kind of stuff. He said, as long as Ohio State doesn't get out to a big early lead, I think Miami has a chance, but it didn't work out that way. Fouled right back off the side of the mask of Marson. And it remains 1-2.
He stayed in there and took a pretty good cut. That was a hanger.
And the 1-2. Into the glove of Nix at third. And the Angels go 1-2-3. Let's see if the Indians can win it now in the bottom of the ninth when we come back. We are tied at 2 here at Progressive Field. For the Indians, it'll be Nix, Crow, and Sutton due up. Jordan Walden coming on now for the Angels. Walden on for just the 9th time since getting the call up.
Santana pitched a good ball game today. He went his 8 innings. Gave up the 4 hits, the 2 runs. It was a good pitching matchup. We thought it would be. He was looking for his career high 17th win. Did not get it. To be denied tonight.
Jason Nix 0 for 2. Takes the first pitch, strike. Coming down in sheets all of a sudden here, although it doesn't look like there's anything on the radar from what we've seen. This goes to show you sometimes the radar doesn't tell the whole story either. Now the 0-2 to Nix, and he held up. 1-2 the count. Oh, boy.
What's wrong? We got a little drizzle coming down now?
Just a little.
Don't worry about it. You don't need your notes anymore. Yeah. Just your scorecard.
Well, that's the problem. It's start getting wet. It'll be just a...
Well, the last time on Getaway Day these two teams met, you quit keeping score. Yeah. That was the 16-inning game last Wednesday.
After 13 innings, they ran out of space.
Yes, you did.
Crow with a bouncer to second. Or, excuse me, Nix with a bouncer to second, and now Crow is coming up. Trevor Crow 1 for 3 on the night. When this ball game comes to a conclusion, we will have the Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care post-game show.
Well, I'd like to see that post-game show at the end of this inning, and I don't want to see Jack Link.
Crow looks at a ball outside. Trevor singled, stole a base, went to third on a wild pitch back in the 4th. But he was stranded there. That's called a strike, looked wide of the mark. 1-1 to count. So Durham beats Columbus 3-2. They stay alive in the Governor's Cup Finals. Now Crow finds himself down in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Oh, he jumped that one up there over 100 miles an hour. Struck him out with a 99-mile-an-hour heater. 2 down here in the 9th.
This guy's getting it up there. He pitched against him back in L.A. and was getting it up there right around triple digits. Got to get it started. You got to turn that dial up on your belt and get it started a little bit quicker.
2 down. Drew Sutton looks at a ball outside. Sutton 1 for 3 tonight. Singled and scored back in the 3rd.
Turned back to the umpire and said, that sounded a little bit outside.
2-0. Down low, 2 balls and no strikes. So 1 more wide one, and the Indians will have a base runner here in the bottom of the 9th. But he comes back with a fastball down the heart of the plate. Ball 4. A 2-out base runner now for Lou Marson. Lou Marson doubled in a run and scored way back in the third. Slide to right his next time up. He walked back in the 7th inning. Tied him up good fastball.
I haven't had an opportunity to see Sutton run yet. I mean, this is a big pitcher. It takes a while to get rid of the baseball. If he can run at all, it may be worth trying to steal a base.
A little bit outside there. Outfield shading Marson the other way.
Well, and that's the proper way to play them. They're playing awfully deep. They don't want anything to get to the gap. The winning run is on first. Marson executed the delayed steal back when he walked with an out in the 7th inning. Caught the middle infielders napping. Got his 8th stolen base.
I'm not so sure it's raining or if the wind isn't just blowing water from Lake Erie onto the ball field. This is unbelievable. I mean, it's just blowing sheets of rain sideways through this ballpark right now. The 1-2 down low. Marson hanging in there under some pretty tough circumstances. It's tough enough to face a guy throwing 100 miles an hour, and then you had the wind, the whipping rain. Got him. Extra innings tonight here at Progressive Field. We are tied at 2. Extra innings presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky all season long. Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Feed your wild side.
You know, I love that beef jerky, but I don't like seeing it during a game because that means we're in extra innings.
Now, maybe if you had some beef jerky, you might feel differently.
That's true. Have to eat it in between the innings, though.
Jensen Lewis on to work for the Tribe here, 31st time this year. Kevin Franzen, Brandon Wood, and Bobby Wilson due up here. Franzen 0 for 3, couple of strikeouts on the night. Fausto Carmona struck out a season-high 8 tonight. But the 2 solo home runs he allowed in the 7th tied the game for the Angels at 2. Tribe's 2 runs came in the 3rd, courtesy of an RBI double by Lou Marson and an RBI double by Shin-Soo Choo. Struck him out. 1 down here in the 10th. Brandon Wood 0 for 3 in the ballgame. He has grounded out, he has popped out, and he has struck out. Popped him up behind the plate. Might be playable for Marson. No, he's out of real estate. A little bit outside from Jensen Lewis. We're in the 10th. Tied at 2, Indians and the Angels. Season series tied at 4. This series tied at a game apiece. Lewis misses outside, and the count evens now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Got him to chase there, struck him out, 2 down.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Jensen Lewis. Looked like a changeup. Has him out front. That ball going down out of the strike zone gets him to chase after it. Good pitch.
Bobby Wilson will bat for the first time tonight. Jeff Mathis started, was 1 for 2. Had a broken bat single in his first at bat. Then Hank Conger pinch hit for him in the 8th, grounded out. And now Wilson looks at ball 1 down low.
Both these teams have played 11 extra inning games. The Angels are 7-4. The Indians are 5-6.
The 2-0.
And last Wednesday, we were treated to an extra inning game when we were heading home. Last Wednesday from L.A., 16 innings.
Wow. That looked like a perfect pitch. 3-1.
Not offering and not called.
So he walks Wilson with 2 down. And we'll go to the top of the order and Reggie Willits. Willits 0 for 3, walked his last time up. Tim Belcher taking a walk out to the mound. Do we have Rafael Perez warming in the bullpen?
Yes, we do.
So just in case Bobby Abreu gets up, they want to give Perez a couple of tosses to get himself loose here. Willis tonight has struck out and grounded out twice. Walked and made it to third, but was stranded in the 8th when Torrey Hunter flied out to deep right field. First pitch called a strike. Quickly the count 0-2. Willits, the Oklahoma product. And the 2-strike pitch is strike 3 called. Jensen Lewis strikes out 3 in the 10th. We're tied at 2. Jordan Walden worked a scoreless inning in the 9th. Now Kevin Jepson will come on to pitch the 10th for the Angels.
60th time that Jepson has been in a ball game, a 2-4 record, a 4.65 ERA. 50 1/3 innings, only 47 hits, but look at the strikeouts. 57 strikeouts in his 50 1/3 innings. Got a very good arm. I'll tell you, Walden throws the heck out of the baseball.
They have no shortage of power arms in that bullpen. Michael Brantley 0 for 3 tonight. And another opportunity to extend that inning streak with an extra inning game. He did that in Anaheim.
He's taken it down a couple times to the last at-bat in games, and like you said, he got the extra, the hit in the extra inning game out there. So why not do it here?
Brantley has grounded out twice, popped up, and laid down a sacrifice bunt. One ball, one strike. With Asdrubal Cabrera to follow, and then Shin-Soo Choo here in the home half of the 10th inning. Brantley with a line drive base hit into right field. He keeps that hitting streak alive. 16 in a row for the Indians' rookie center fielder. And that is the potential winning run now at first base.
Yeah, you give this guy enough chances, he's going to get you. Gets a fastball. They wanted it inside, and it didn't get there. That was right down the heart of the plate. And he's able to turn on it and get it over the head of Franson.
When Michael Brantley extended his hitting streak in that 16-inning game, he got the hit off Jepson. Here's a throw down to second base, not in time. Stay on the bag. Whoa, barely. Brantley able to keep his toe locked to the corner of second base, and his 10th steal of the year puts him in scoring position. Still nobody out here in the 10th.
I like it. He did it early. First pitch of the at-bat. He's off and running. Cabrera takes it. He could have helped him out a little bit there and maybe held the catcher back by faking a bunt, but head straight down, straight steal, gets himself into scoring position. Now you bunt him over to third base.
They pinch in at the corners. Cabrera squares, bunts at third base side perfectly. Throw to first, in time. So now the winning run's at third with one out here in the bottom of the 10th, and you got Shin-Soo Choo coming up. Now the question is...
You walk them both.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Not only do you walk Choo, but you probably walk Hafner as well.
Absolutely. You can, yeah. Why let one of those two guys beat you? I would think they will. We'll see what... Some guys don't like to walk the bases loaded, because there's no room for error.
Yeah, that's true.
So we'll see what Mike Scioscia chooses to do. You're definitely going to walk Choo. There's no question about that. The infield and the outfield will have to come in. Hafner's up next.
Almost threw
Unless
that
he
to
wants
the
to
backstop.
throw it to the backstop, and then you can forget the walk.
And ball 4. So Choo goes to first. Second time he's walked tonight. Travis Hafner to the plate. Now let's see what they decide to do here. And they'll walk him as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you got to take the bats out of their hands, and you got to go percentages. Jordan Brown's going to be the third left-hander up in this inning, but you take your chances. You have to force at any base. Your outfielders come in. But the speed at third base with Brantley is good. Choo will be on second base. You're not concerned about Hafner being on first, so back-to-back walks.
You also wonder, too, after a guy has to throw 8 straight intentional wide ones, now he's got to lock in and throw strikes again.
Well, he's coming out to the umpire, and I don't know what's going on here. He may
make a double switch or something?
We'll see.
Go to an extra infielder?
He may bring Torrey Hunter in.
Double switch.
So what's he giving up his DH?
Howie Kendrick is going to come in for the extra infielder.
Oh, I got you.
So we'll go with 5 infielders here.
This is interesting. They're banking that he's going to get a ground ball. You'll go with 2 outfielders. You'll have Abreu and Hunter in the outfield, and they'll play gaps, I would imagine. They're going in or out. They're going to give them all a center field.
So let's see, where does Kendrick go?
He'll play
up the middle.
Yeah, he'll play up the middle. He'll give him 3 on the right side because of the left-hander.
Yeah.
And, I mean, holy smoke. Sometimes it looks like you got this many guys on the infield when you're a hitter. But I'll tell you, you're looking to elevate a ball. You're looking to hit a ball in the air. Hit a fly ball. You have Brantley on third. He has good speed. Hit the fly ball.
Or, now with only 2 outfielders, just bloop one. Almost like playing Pepper, just try to pop one over the head of the infield. Let's see what we got here. Bases loaded, 1 out, the pitch to Brown, and he takes a strike. He is 0 for 4 on the night. Abreu really shortened up in left field. Hunter, he's got to play over more towards right center field. Now, he's got a much stronger arm, too. There's a ground ball to first. They come home with a throw. They get the out there. Back to first. Oh, they punched him out on a double play. And the inning is over. So the Indians have him loaded with 1 out, and a double play ball ends the threat. Long. Jack Link's beef jerky. Feed your wild side. Well, we go to the 11th, and Rafael Perez will come on now for the Indians.
Boy, a golden opportunity gone by the wayside for the Indians. Bases loaded, 1 out. The 3-2-3 double play keeps this game going. Perez coming on for the 65th time. And, I mean, look at the infielders. 5 infielders out there, and it's an easy play. Over at first base, he goes right in to Wilson. Wilson back over at first base in Napoli, and there it was, 3-2-3. Jepson made his pitch. Brown can't get down the line very well, and he is out. Got to try and hit that ball in the air, man. That's where you break your fly ball stroke out.
After back-to-back intentional walks, they go to the 5th infielder, and they get the double play. So Bobby Abreu, Torrey Hunter, and Hideki Matsui are due up here in the 11th for the Angels. Abreu looks at a ball up high. Tell you what, it's getting cold. That air is definitely chilled off.
Yes, it has. It's been doing it ever since that rain went through here.
Topper off the plate. Cabrera can't get it out of his glove, and Abreu aboard with an infield single to start the 11th inning. And now Torrey Hunter 0 for 4 will be the batter.
He wasn't going to get him anyway. Even if he gets that ball out of his glove, Abreu can run. Still gets down the line. Okay. That'll go as an infield single.
First pitch, strike to Hunter. Fly to right his last time up. He has struck out twice tonight. 3 for 12 in the series. Bouncing ball to short. Cabrera. They get one at second. The relay from Sutton to first is in time for a double play. Boy, so far, I like what I've seen from Drew Sutton. Hangs in there nice on the double play. He's fielded his position very well. Good arm.
This is turned nicely. Cabrera, Sutton gets it back over there, and they get Hunter. Big double play ball.
And Hideki Matsui. He got the Angels on the board in the 7th inning when Fausto Carmona had just struck out Torrey Hunter for his 7th strikeout of the game. At that point, let's see, Fausto had retired 8 in a row. Matsui was down on the count 0-2 and really did not look good on the swings that he had taken up to that point in the at-bat.
Right.
And then got a little bit of a hanger, and he crushed it. Just did clear the wall in right center field. Broke the bat that time. Cabrera. Off-balance throw. And we'll go to the bottom of the 11th. Still tied at 2. 11th inning. No pitcher now on for the Angels, Bobby Casava. The 11th time he's pitched in this season, and it seems like
it's
always been against the Indians. We've seen a bunch of him already.
We certainly have.
Peter Borges has come on now to play center field, and Howie Kendrick, who came on in the bottom of the 10th, will stay in and play second base. Technically, when Kendrick came in, he was the extra infielder.
Yeah, they took Willits out, who made the last out, was playing center field, so they didn't have one. That's fine. Now they've got one out there.
So I'm assuming Borges goes into Franson's spot in the lineup.
I think you're right.
Let's hope we don't have to get to that point. Jason Nix, 0 for 3. Looks at the ball inside. Boy, though, what an opportunity for the Indians in the 10th. They had the bases loaded with one out. And a double play got the Angels out of it. Bouncing ball to third. Callaspo throws him out, one away. That'll bring up Trevor Crowe, who is 1 for 4 tonight. Blow it away. Ball 1 to Crowe. Crowe shoots it down the left field line. Fair ball. Into the corner it goes. Abreu can't dig it out. Crowe's got himself a one-out double. So the winning run for the Indians once again in scoring position.
Well, and we say it a lot. He's a good low ball hitter, and he stayed on that baseball. Realized it was going to be fair down into the corner. So Trevor Crowe will end up getting his 20th double, second base hit of the night, and that is the winning run. He'll be carrying the mail.
Blow it away, ball 1 to Drew Sutton. Bouncing ball, second base. Kendrick throws him out, 2 down. Winning run 90 feet away, but now it'll take a 2-out hit from Lou Marson, and it looks like he's getting called back. We're going to get Shelley Duncan, the Indians' most effective pinch hitter. And the guy who had the big game in the series opener, going 3 for 3 with 2 home runs. Duncan on the year, 6 for 19 as a pinch hitter. And we'll see if he can get the big 2-out pinch hit here and send everybody home happy for the Indians.
Shelley Duncan, first game of this series, had himself some kind of night, belting a solo home run, then a 2-run homer. His second multi-home run of the game, had all 4 RBIs for the Indians as they won that ball game.
Well, here we go. Duncan digs in. Bobby Cassava delivers inside for ball one. Had a good rip, but he fouls it back. 1-1 to count. Trevor Crow, the winning run at third. He doubled with one out here in the 11th. And the 1-1 to Duncan. 2 balls and a strike. Don't you love all the extra coaches down there?
Well, that's fans. That's right. They want to see him get a base knock and end this ball game.
Here's the 2-1. Broken bat. Callaspo can't get it out of his glove, and the Indians win it. How do you like that? A broken bat bleeder, and the Indians win it. Shelley Duncan drives home Trevor Crow, and Crow might knock everybody over on his way back to the dugout.
Look at Duncan. That's beautiful.
Well,
what are they going to give him? Are they going to give him a hit?
That's not the way you draw it up on the old chalkboard, is it, partner?
That ball is off his thumbs, but I think that might have to be an error. I don't know. Whatever, the game's over. I don't care what they score it.
It's an error by Callaspo to end the game, and it ends a nightmarish series for him. He went 0 for 13 at the plate and commits an error that allows the Indians to win the game, win the series, and win the season series against the Angels. Final score tonight, 3-2 Tribe in 11 innings. Tonight's play of the game is brought to you by KeyBank. Switch to Key and get a free Sony Bloggy. Visit key.com/Bloggy for details.
We go back to the 7th inning. A 2-2 pitch right here, slider. Fausto thought he had it. No siree. But look at this. The next fastball, he throws him up out over the plate. That is going to tie the ball game up at 2. They had 2 solo home runs in that inning. Fausto could not believe it. He pitched another gem, but he will get a no decision tonight, but that is going to be our KeyBank key play of the game.
Indians a winner, 3-2. They take the series. We're back with the Conrad's postgame show next.